Hey guys, Rob from Georgia here. VHS82 apostrophe is my YouTube channel, and this is going to be my top 10 franchise. I haven't done a video like this. I'm kind of stuck in the middle of this 22 shots of appreciation, but I thought I'd take a little bit of a break and do a quick video and run down the top 10 franchises that have impacted me growing up. So I'm not really trying to say that these are the best franchises ever. I'm just saying it impacted my life. And in ranking 10 through 1, I thought I would do something a little bit different. I ranked them by the year that the first film of the franchise actually came out. So, you know, I started up kind of high with the last year, whatever it was, and then by the time I get to number 1, it is the earliest year. And so I thought it'd be something different and share with you guys at least 10 of probably the most important franchises that have really just, well, I mean, they've made me love movies. So without further delay, I'm just going to run through this as quick as I can, and so I can kind of make this not very long. But here we go. Number 10. The first film of this franchise first came out in 1996, and I am, of course, referring to the Scream franchise. Wes Craven, rip. We're gonna miss Wes. All of us are gonna miss Wes. Great franchise. I love this franchise from start to finish. Just absolutely love it. So Scream franchise, number 10. Number 9. The first film of this franchise actually came out in 1984. I was 14 when I first saw this movie in the theater. Of course, this is also Wes Craven, and it is, of course, the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Great franchise. Has its hit and misses, but overall, it's a fun franchise. 3, I love 3. 3 might be my favorite, apart from number 1 and 2 is growing on me. Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, number 9. Number 8. The first film that came out to the scene was in 1981. I am referring to Sam Raimi's Evil Dead franchise. Of course, this is the 10K's Anchor Bay for the Evil Dead 2. This movie, the first time I saw this as a kid, this caused me to absolutely fall on the couch hysterically, just laughing. I love the whole thing. The first 3. Evil Dead, 1981, the first time that this franchise got its start. Sam Raimi. So, number 8. Number 7. First time this franchise hit the theater, it was 1980. And of course, Cunningham. His Friday the 13th film, the franchise, Friday the 13th. I think the first time I caught a Friday the 13th film in the theater, it was part 3 in 3D, and that was a blast as a kid. I mean, that was, I think, the first 3D film I ever saw in the theater, and that was an absolute blast. Friday the 13th franchise. Number 7. Number 6. This franchise first came onto the scene in 1979. Now, of all the top 10 franchises, this is the one that I really haven't seen, I don't think. So I'm going to throw it out there. I'm just going to say this movie, man, or this franchise, has really made a big dent into my life growing up. And of course, it is the Alien franchise. Ridley Scott's first entry in 1979. This movie, the first one, just absolutely blasted me away. The first time I saw a film, Alien film in the theater, was Aliens, And that was the first time and only time, I think, that I ever was in a film, I mean, that really got an incredible standing ovation. Not the only time, but I mean, this was amazing. I mean, when that movie came to its conclusion, I mean, the entire theater rose up, and it was pretty awesome. So, throughout my entire life, the Alien franchise, Alien, what an absolutely awesome film. Number 5 also got its debut in 1979 with his first film, Don Coscarelli's Phantasm, the Phantasm franchise. I dropped a story on the podcast about my experience getting caught watching the first one in the middle of the night. And my dad caught me. Scared the crap out of me. Never says. The second one, when it came out, absolutely awesome film. Special effects, unbelievable. And just an awesome franchise. So number 5, Phantasm. Number 4, this franchise first saw the light of day in 1978, and I was so unbelievably lucky to just see this film on the big screen for the very first time this year. Of course, John Carpenter's Halloween 1 and 2. The entire franchise is awesome. I love this franchise. The first film, though, is my 25th anniversary edition. And, of course, the Scream Factory, Halloween 2. It gets no better than these two. 3's grown on me. Just like Friday the 13th Part 5, that's grown on me as well. But Season of the Witch has grown on me. But Halloween, number 4, 1978. Number 3. First saw the light of day, 1975. Steven Spielberg smacked us with Jaws. Saw this in the theater when I was 5 years old, only because I threw tantrums and my mom got sick of hearing me, and so she dragged me to the theater, and I screamed the whole time I was in the theater. But it's maybe my, between this and John Carpenter's The Thing, it may be my number 1 favorite film of all time in the franchise. 1, 2, I love 3. 3 is a fun ride. It's entertaining. It's just a fun movie. 4 is awful. Sorry, it is awful. But the Jaws franchise, number 3, 1975. Number 2 got its debut in 1974. Of course, I am referring to the seminal classic by Hooper, and that is, of course, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is my, I guess, the tin steelbook or whatever. I found this in Walmart for $5. What a great, just a great pickup. But the entire franchise, as much as this is a comment on the 70s, Part 2 is a comment on the 80s. And the rest of them, well, they are what they are, but the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, this first time I ever saw this movie, man, it gave me nightmares, for sure. But Hooper's classic there, number 2. And number 1, I thought I would just pull out everything I have from this one. First saw the light of day in 1968, and this is a remarkable franchise. I know the last 2 entries get a little hate. They're not really as good as the earlier ones, but it is a phenomenal franchise nonetheless. And of course, I'm referring to George A. Romero's The Dead franchise. And here's what I got. I'll just start with the original signature edition. Has the one of the few that has the commentary by George A. Romero. But I love that. I love that edition. Of course, the ultimate Dawn of the Dead edition with the theatrical, the extended, the European cut. This is probably the best. I think it's the best edition of this film to have. And Day of the Dead. This movie's really grown on me over the years. I have really come to really just love this movie. And of course, Land of the Dead. And let's see, as much of we have with the first, we have the comment on the 60s, then we have the comment on consumerism in the late 70s. Of course, Day is a comment on militarism in the 80s, and Land is post 9/11. interesting. George A. Romero always has some substance with his films. So Land of the Dead, and of course Savani's remake, 1990, Night of the Living Dead. These are the only ones I own. I do not own the latter ones, but I'm pretty proud of that little one. So my top 10, there it is. Number 10, Scream. Number 9, Nightmare on Elm Street. Number 8, The Evil Dead franchise. Number 7, Friday the 13th. Number 6, Alien. Number 5, Phantasm. Number 4, Halloween. Number 3, Jaws. Number 2, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And number 1, The Dead franchise. So this is it. This is my contribution to the franchise videos. I hope you like it. If you do, hit the like button and leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think of the other videos, and give me some suggestions how I might get better. This is the NFL draft weekend, and so I'll just end on this. Go Bills. One of these days, I want to dance with you.